James McAvoy continues to show us his dazzling range in a new psychological thriller, Speak No Evil. Let's talk about it. Hey guys, Dan here. This is Dan Reviews It. Welcome to my spoiler-free review for the new film, Speak No Evil. This is another one from the Blumhouse production studio. It seems like every week or two there's a new Blumhouse movie. We just had one a few weeks ago with Afraid, and with Halloween coming up, I have to imagine there's going to be another one coming up in October. They just crank these out, and some are certainly better than others. So before we get into if this one is on the good end or the bad end of that, let me welcome you back to Dan Reviews It. If you're one of my subscribers already, thank you so much. If you are not, please consider subscribing down below there, or even click that notification bell to get the alerts of all my drops, or just like this video, comment below, share it on your socials, all that stuff, of course, helps the channel out. All right, so James McAvoy, look, he is certainly one of our most versatile actors, right? And he stars here as Patty, and we have basically these two couples meet in Italy. They're both on holiday, an American couple, Louise and Ben, who are played by Mackenzie Davis and Scoot McNairy. They meet up with Patty and Ciara, who's James McAvoy, and Aisling Francois. I'm not sure I've seen that name before. But in any event, they go their separate ways, and this British couple invites the American couple to their beautiful countryside home, and they decide, you know what, we're maybe having some marital issues. Our daughter has some anxiety issues. She seemed to get along with this couple's boy. What the heck? Let's do it. And as we descend sort of more into, okay, maybe this British couple is a little off. Maybe they treat their child a little differently than we do. A little bit of a clash in values, perhaps. We sort of go that route, and then we realize what's really going on here. And then in the last, 40 minutes, let's say, of the movie, is trying to undo that, I guess. So look, I don't want to get too far in the weeds here with the plot, because I do think this one is more interesting as kind of a slow burn. And with that in mind, I don't think I would even call this a horror movie. I know Blumhouse, revels in the horror, and I have not seen the trailers for this. Apparently they've been pushing this movie for like 6 months. All the movie groups I'm in on Facebook are like, oh, I'm sick of seeing the Speak No Evil trailer. I go purposely late to the movies to avoid trailers, but apparently this one, they've been inundating us with. But my guess is they probably made this, more of a horror trailer than I think the movie actually is. So I said up front, it's a psychological thriller. That's how it's sort of listed. That's how it's billed. But I actually think this is a type of movie that we really rarely see anymore, and that is suspense. Back in the 40s, 50s, Hitchcock, suspense movies were the thing. And I think we got a bit away from that because people enjoy the jump scares. People enjoy, having an opening scene where someone's getting murdered, and that's how okay, it's a horror movie. This movie doesn't do that, and I really, really appreciate that, because I don't think we get movies like this quite as much. And it actually reminded me, and look, this comparison is kind of not apt because this is a much better movie, I'm about to say, but it reminded me a little bit of Silence of the Lambs. We spend the first kind of 45 minutes to an hour of that movie kind of establishing things, getting to know what's happening, and then once we find out, the Buffalo Bill stuff, then it's like, okay, now we're really, into it. There are no jump scares in this movie. There is just, the creepiness factor, yeah, for sure. But I not even that is a slow build. And that is something I think to this movie's credit. James McAvoy, I mentioned up top, he's dazzling us again with his range. And here's another great performance from him. Now, I will say, sometimes as we veer in the last, those 30, 40 minutes where, the one couple realizes what's going on and tries to make up for that, there are some, I think, comedic elements that were not intentional, and some of that maybe comes from McAvoy and his absolute insanity. As his character is starting to unravel. I saw the movie with a theater of three other people, three friends that I don't think realized I was there because I was behind them, and they were guffawing throughout the movie, and I could see why. There are definitely some elements of like, okay, this has gone a little too far off the rails. And something else I don't really like about it in that sort of vein, the comedic tone, is that this family is, the dad played by Scoot McNairy is such um, I don't an idiot, not an idiot. He's not an idiot. I don't want to say that. But it's like everything he tries just doesn't necessarily work. He's bumbling. Let's say that he's just a bit bumbling. And so that gets a little bit stale, a little bit repetitive. Like, okay, how is he going to mess up this next thing? When they're trying to get away, that becomes a little bit much. But look, overall, like I said, I don't think we see movies like this quite that often these days. A movie of just suspense. There's no opening scene of an axe murderer going around, or someone even screaming, or anything. There's just these two families. They meet and they get along, and then okay, let's invite you here, and okay, now you seem a little off. Like, what am I missing here? You're not really treating your child very well. We're having some clashing parenting discussions, and then it builds from there. I think we're so accustomed to some of these jump scare movies, and give me something every 10 minutes. That this is a bit refreshing, but I will say it's a little bit too silly by the end. So look, I will leave Speaking of Evil with a B minus, but another good acting thing for James McAvoy. And Mackenzie Davis, she's great too. You might know her from Station 11 or a movie called The Happiest Season, which was very good. So anyway, that will do it. Thank you so much for watching Dan Reviews It. I'll see you next time.